We are live. Hey, guys, I want to welcome you guys all to the Weighing In Podcast. And with my man, the little man himself, Little Ange. You know, look, how many breakfasts have you eaten this morning? Are the kids even up
I don't
and
eat
awake?
breakfast. I have
You don't?
the reason my dinners look so tremendous is because I basically don't eat the entire day, which I know is you're not supposed to do that, but I don't eat.
You know, have you tried not to like reverse it? Eat in the morning and then don't eat past like 5
I'm just
o'clock
not
at night?
hungry is the problem.
Yeah,
I get a cup of coffee and I just chill.
Have you thought about not doing coffee and then just doing food and then eating
how
coffee?
am I gonna poop, Josh? That's what the coffee's for.
No, I know. You eat first, then you get the coffee. Okay, I know you have that little that game.
I also wake up at like 5 a.m. So like, you know, I'm gonna make a breakfast at 5.
Calm down, we all do. Yeah, and I do make breakfast at 5. But it's something
crazy.
small though. Can't you just do like yogurt and some berries and like a little bit of honey?
I do love a nice parfait.
Yeah,
when I travel for work,
like a food parfait, not a yogurt parfait. You eat the food.
No,
buffet is more like it.
I'll tear up a Chinese buffet. You go find me a Chinese buffet, I will tear that place up.
Bro, I'm married to a Chinese woman, bro. I have buffet every night. I eat buffet at least once or twice a week, buddy. Shit. Fuck yeah. We got it all around this house. Fuck, it's great. Look, obviously there was a lot of controversy last night at the RAF Wrestling. We'll talk about that first before we get into the fight card. I feel like this is a huge deal. I guess for me, did you see the clip?
Well, yeah, but tell them what happened.
Okay, well, look, I'm going to show them. I don't have to tell them.
Oh, okay.
I had it all up.
Flirting with copyright. All right.
No, I think you're all right. It's just like literally a couple seconds. It's literally a couple seconds. So, you know, we're gonna show it real quick. I'm gonna show it real quick, and then you know, we'll go from there. We'll see exactly what happens here.
All right. Well, there you go.
I was
gonna give the context of who so that's Arman Sarukian. Yeah, Arman Sarukian, obviously the number one contender at UFC lightweight division, is wrestling Giorgio Paulus, the take me down, get $1,000 guy. So there was a lot of build up to this match. This is like it wasn't even the main event. Main event was Uriah Faber and Henry Cejudo, but this was just a straight up wrestling match. And then
freestyle.
This is how it freestyle wrestling match under RAF, which is like that professional wrestling.
Real American freestyle wrestling. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show you there's just like the last like 30 seconds. All right. So hopefully we don't get booted off for showing this, but I think it's all over the internet right now. I wanted you guys to see it. But it gives you to give you a little feedback on it. So they start hand fighting real hard in the first round. Obviously, I think Giorgio basically like clubs him in the head. Arman didn't like it, or clubs him into the body, and then Arman doesn't like it. Arman like basically like clubs him back. It's like slaps him. Go, hey man, like what are you doing? We're out here having fun. Like what are you doing? And then Giorgio keeps getting a little bit aggressive, keeps getting handsy. No real shots, but I know hand fighting is basically the way you set up a lot of your takedowns.
Well, and frankly, everything that show this, and then we can debate if this was justified or what led to this. Yeah.
All right, this is the end here. I will show it to you.
Nice. I love the silence. Right there.
There you go. Let me play that back and give him some sound. Oh, he hits a little duck, tries to hit the duck, couldn't get it. Match is over. Pushes him over. Big right hand. Oh, throws a little knee in the clinch there.
Yeah, complete. I mean, that was complete cheap shot bullshit. Like absolutely cheap shot bullshit. And what's funny is the internet's justifying it. The internet's like, oh, but Giorgio was slapping him the whole match. And maybe he was. And I watched the match this morning, not last night, obviously. But I watched the match, and Giorgio was very physical. And he was slapping and collar tying hard. But that's the referee's job to keep that straight. And you know what? If Arman punched him in the moment, right, it like got smacked and then just punched him, that's way more justifiable, or at least I could see how you get there than this. This is a straight up wrestling match against a wrestler, and you're supposed to be I actually think he is the best lightweight on the planet. And you just elbow this defenseless dude in the face who has no idea it's coming, not protecting himself. Like it's actually crazy. And I think it dies here. You know what I mean? I think it ends right here. Like whatever, they'll do a rematch. But literally, if Giorgio wanted to be a punk about it, he could press charges. That's straight up assault. He was attacked.
Yeah, that'd be a punk move. But
it's a punk move 10 out of 10 times. But that's what so is cheap shot elbowing somebody in the face in a wrestling match at the end.
He punched him. He didn't elbow him.
Oh, I thought either way, and then kneed him. Like
Yeah, he did.
it's absurd.
I didn't see the knee until that very moment right there. Look,
Yeah.
to give you like even more, there was a lot of hand fighting. Ref was giving points to Arman because of the aggressive, slaps to the face, forehead on the hand, hard to the body. Like, look, this is literally like just an exhibition. Like, what are we doing, guys?
And they made money. They got paid to wrestle, and they wrestled. And like, honestly, like Giorgio's a bit of a showman. He's a social media influencer. Like he was a good wrestler, nothing crazy. He wasn't like an All-American. He wasn't nothing crazy. I think he had like a 500 record. And then he turned that into take me down, win $1,000. And now he's one of the more famous people in wrestling, which is crazy. He parlayed that into a couple of big paydays at this organization. This matchup is crazy. I assumed Arman would run through him. I think Arman thought he would run through him, and he didn't. You know, Arman didn't take him down.
Yeah, he didn't take him down. He got.
Well, there was that half a takedown outside of the circle. So
it was a real takedown, but it was just outside the circle. It was a real takedown.
But
you just keep wrestling until it's done, man. That's the way.
They didn't give him the points for it.
I know they didn't give him the points. They didn't.
And there was a takedown in that match, and it was Giorgio. Giorgio had the only actual takedown.
Look, if this had and if this caused any doubters to think this guy can't wrestle, like this, I didn't. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. This got rid of a lot of the doubters that thought he couldn't wrestle. Look, I was one of those guys. He's handpicking. He's probably not showing.
You and I debated that.
Yeah, we did. We did debate that. That's on one of our first bad takes, I believe.
Yeah,
we debated that.
Second one ever, I think.
Yeah. So it's a great little show, by the way. I actually was one of the first times I was like, man, I actually kind of like I enjoy talking to Angelo. Yeah, I enjoy talking to you. You didn't know shit about wrestling, but I understand.
I was like, I think he could take down Bo Nickel. You're like, no. I was like, that's not how Bo Nickel wrestles. He's a scrambler.
He is. So that's the thing is, Giorgio would have to wrestle on him, and then he would just try to reverse and scramble into position. Very much how Ben Askren was. Yeah, Ben would shoot the low level ankle and then just cause a scramble and just he'd end up on top somehow, some way. There was another guy that was like that too. Jason Welsh out of Northwestern was exactly like that too. Does this hurt him? Does this hurt Arman with the UFC?
Well, and somebody commented this. Amp said Dana will kibosh RAF now, and I mean I doubt it, but that's a possibility. Dana, when you go out there and you do stupid shit like this and you get in trouble or you put yourself in, like the UFC could absolutely be like, no more of this, but you're the one screaming and yelling, Joshua. They're not employees. You can't tell them what to do. So yeah, they're not employees. You can't tell them what to do,
especially when there's money on the line.
Yeah, you can't prevent them from making money in doing different things. Yeah, like this isn't an MMA fight. It's not even a combat sport. It's wrestling.
Yeah, so he can stop them if they have a contract signed. They can't do this once the contract is signed.
If you're in fight camp and you're doing this, you're an idiot. Yeah. Like, why would you? Because you could blow a knee out. Anything could happen.
You do it every day at practice. I don't understand what the difference is. This is just another I'm higher intensity practice.
Physical condition. That's the difference.
This is just what practice is, though. I don't know. I'm like, man, I don't know how you train. I mean, obviously not very hard. You're fucking 285 right now. And I mean,
well, 265, but okay. I'm 6'3", so let's relax.
You haven't been 265 since you were like 11.
The proportions are fine.
You haven't been 265 since you were 11. Okay,
maybe I'm 266, but I'm 6'3", so the proportions are good.
Proportions, huh? I don't think that UFC puts a kibosh to UFC fighters wrestling in RAF.
Yeah,
he may say, "Hey, to Arman, we got to get you to this title fight." Does this actually hurt him and him getting to his title shot? Because look, you're proving again that, like, man, this is a huge stage. This is an exhibition. We're not even talking about like this is like your real record. This is for fun. But Arman is that guy who's like, no, I'm winning at everything. We need more guys like that in this sport. And I had this conversation, and we'll talk about this later. The fucking Zellhuber fight, bro. Like, this is the levels that when I posted something on X last night, I said, these young guys are out there just making business decisions. Like this generation, Arman's a throwback to the old generation of like, I'm going to fucking fight you anywhere, anytime. If you fucking disrespect me or you're trying to hurt me or you're trying to take money out of my pocket, whatever it is. That's Arman. That is the old throwback style of MMA guys. Zellhuber is the new version of and not all. And I'm painting
these are wild dots to connect. We're going from Arman cheap shot wrestling to Daniel Zellhuber standing there doing nothing.
No, but I want to know, does the UFC put a kibosh to him, or do they say, hey, you know what? This is one more fight away now.
I don't know. I don't know the mechanics of it now. Do they have to ask permission? Yeah, so I think it'll be a case-by-case basis then if that's it. But I also don't think this hurts the UFC in any way whatsoever. Like,
no, not at all.
Now, obviously, if Arman gets suspended for a year, like, obviously this was not under any commission. This is just a wrestling match. But we've seen before where commissions have seen things happen elsewhere and impose their own sanction. So it's not obscene.
We have, like who? Like when?
Nevada State Athletic Commission has seen fighters fight overseas and impose their own sanction, saying you can't fight here for a year based off what happened over there.
Yeah, maybe if they tested positive or something, or like a fight inside the cage after the fight.
I think testing positive has happened. I know it's happened. I would have to look up specific examples. I bet morbidly obese Angelo was disappointed the Super Bowl wasn't a giant bowl of deep fried ice cream and chocolate pudding.
Love it. Chaz Bono, you love Chaz, by the way. You've used Chaz a couple times on this show. Chaz Bono, manly beard, 4031. Great comment, man. Great comment.
I would bet everything on planet Earth. I'm way better looking than that motherfucker because he'd have a profile picture if he was decent looking.
Chaz, do me a favor. Become a member so I can have you on the show. We can debate, and we'll just fucking shit on Angelo the whole time. What a great time.
Camera on, dopey.
No, I want to know about what is with these shirts, man. Does that have writing on the?
See, I honestly thought there'd be some dumbass fashionista bullshit. Imagine having your fashion criticized by a dude that wears neckerchiefs all summer.
This is part of the
absolutely, shirt. It's part of the shirt.
Okay, part of the shirt.
Josh is about to rob a bank in a plastic neckerchief shirt.
Bro, this is the greatest thing.
Pink Young LA shirt,
bro.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, fashion advice. Yeah, yeah.
It's the greatest thing ever. Greatest thing ever.
He marries an Asian, becomes a Jabberwocky. Congratulations.
Why are you so violent, man?
You attacked me and my fashion choices every time, and it makes no sense. You had an issue with plain colored.
They look old. They look like thrift store shirts. I don't know. And the neck is all stretched out. Like, and you keep pulling on it. It fucking drives me crazy when you pull on your shirts, dude.
This is probably
like you have a tick, like how Diego Lopez has that like chin tick. You have that. It's like this thing where you do with your yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Maybe
you do that a lot.
Sitting here,
guys.
Talking to the
do me a favor. Basically. Watch like when you guys watch our shows. Just tally up how many times he grabs his neck. He does this like fucking Diego Lopez and his thing. It's. I think you're just trying to be like Diego Lopez. You're like, hey, that looks kind of cool. Like he's doing it during a fight. It's pretty.
It doesn't look cool when he does it.
Oh man, and that's my point. You don't look cool either when you're constantly just pulling at.
Well, I guess we'll see now because I don't.
I actually do like that hat. What's the hat? Birdie.
Bad Birdie. It's a golf. Birdie. It's a golf. It's a golf hat. Like it's a golf brand. Like
Bad Birdie.
It's like nice golf stuff for people who suck at golf. So
that's right, Captain Obvious over here.
I'm their perfect custom.
Okay, does the UFC say, hey, you know what? This is why we don't have you in a title shot, Arman. We're gonna basically hold you out. You can't be trusted. I hope that's not the case because, like you said, I agree with you. He's probably the best lightweight in the world right now, and I don't think there's Ilya, there's him, and then there's a gap.
Yeah, it's either him or Ilya. That's it, and I think he can beat Ilya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he can.
Bryce Mitchell took Ilya down, so Arman Zaruki should be. He's got to worry about the hands, obviously. But I just think I doubt there'll be any consequences. They'll parlay this into a rematch, and they'll have some fun with it on the RAF side. My issue is, well, first of all, there's a video of Giorgio in like with a neck brace going into an ambulance saying I was jumped. But then I've seen 19 other videos that he's posted since then. Like from his home and the locker room and like the lobby of the hotel. So it's like, that was maybe just precautionary or for show. I don't know what that was because there's a million videos since then. He's obviously totally fine. I think it's honestly, it's inexcusable behavior. Like you're and Arman, he does have some savage in him, which is surprising because he's a rich kid, but like you're supposed to be one of the best fist fighters on planet Earth. And you're in a wrestling match, and then you cheap shot somebody. I could understand if when Arman got slapped or heavy clubbed for the collar tie, if he just like threw down. I could understand. I would disagree with it, but I could understand that. And that's because everybody's like, oh, Giorgio, fuck around and find out. No, but he wasn't fucking around. He wasn't. Not in that moment.
Yeah.
He was very aggressively wrestling within the rule set. and he gave up points because of it. And Giorgio lost the match because of the clubbing and the slapping.
Yeah.
If he didn't do that, it would have been 3-2, and he would have won. So he was penalized in the rule set for doing that, getting absolutely just attacked at the end of the match when it's completely over is ridiculous. I love Arman. It's ridiculous to do that.
Yeah, and so the mind, big boy's got to air out once in a while. Josh, he's just saying like that's how you air out. Yeah, you're just doing this. Yeah, I can appreciate that. I mean, it's like he's sweating grease.
I don't even realize I do. If I do it, which I don't believe I do. I think you're just saying that. I don't realize I do it.
No, it's wild. And then especially when you wear like a collared button up, you do it a lot more. I don't know if it's the buttons that touch your chest.
Oh, that could be if I'm layered, like if I got a pullover on.
No, just you just have a regular like collared t-shirt. You do this a lot more. I don't know if it's the buttons or if you want to fix the collar.
Maybe I have Tourette's. A little tick.
Shit does just come out of your mouth. I think honestly, I hope they don't do anything to him. This brings a little bit more, I think, publicity also to the UFC, like they did with the Conor thing in the bus. Like, oh no, we condemn this. No, this is not good. We don't condone this type of behavior.
That's a great example.
And then they ran it like fucking every moment they could in promos.
I actually
use this. I'm sure.
I'm going to Google it, but I think that's an example. That happened in New York. Conor threw the dolly at the bus. I think he got suspended in Nevada for that. I think that's a great example. All right, let me look that up. Not in silence. Talk.
Well, no, I know what I'm saying. No, it's he probably got suspended in the New York
happened in New York,
but New York
I think he went to like trial for that in New York. I think they arrested him for it.
What I'm saying though is that New York could also, once they charge him, that's basically like a conduct thing that the New York Commission can suspend his license to fight in New York. Once one commission suspends you, when you fill out your paperwork to fight in other states, when you fill out any paperwork, or if you have a license in another state, they can automatically suspend it.
And I'm wrong anyway. Nevada didn't do anything about it. No, but I agree with that. But anyway, the whole point that I was making there is I feel like it is possible that some commissions will look at this and be like, well, basically what Sean Strickland did. You attack somebody outside of a reasonable manner, so we're going to suspend your license to compete in our state for X period of time. I hope nothing happens. And frankly, this is the best thing that could have ever happened to Giorgio. This is literally the best thing.
Yeah.
No real damage was done with the punch. Now there's hype. People are talking about it. You can do the rematch. You're the only one who got a takedown. And if there is never a rematch, Giorgio could hang his hat on. First of all, the whole take me down, get $1,000 thing stays true. Nobody's taking him down, at least, not since the take me down, get $1,000 challenge. And he took down, the UFC lightweight champion. And if Giorgio decides to go into MMA, he could end up with some Poetan treatment.
Well, where you get a couple lightweight champ of the world. I get what you're saying, though. You just said that. He took down the lightweight champ of the world.
No, I'm saying like meaning in the future as things progress. And if Giorgio decides to get an MMA, he could end up like Poetan, where he gets a couple of good wins and they rush him because there's a random plot line.
Yeah, I mean, you just saw that he can wrestle. And I actually love what he's doing. This is what I think is amazing to me. Two of the biggest streamers, I mean, outside of like the knuckleheads and like the neons and all the other, two of the biggest streamers, I show speed in terms of just being athletic, just being like basically just recording themselves, being fast, competing against some of the best, highest level competition. Giorgio, maybe not competing against the best and highest level competition, but guys are coming in off the street. Guys that are college wrestling coaches that are a little past their prime, and some younger guys too that are not quite hit their prime. He's wrestling these guys, and he put on a great performance last night. He's put on great performances in his clips, on his social media. I love when I see guys getting after it that are they're being influencers by show. I mean, they're a little chippy, but they're also being influencers by showing their athleticism, by showing being creative and doing something different besides just being a streamer, walking around, talking shit, picking fights, trying to run into guys like Andrei Arlovsky and just to get views. That shit drives me absolutely nuts. This is awesome. I love it. I don't think the UFC does anything about it. I mean, if it would have escalated to where there's criminal charges or something like that, maybe it will still be. I hope it does not.
Giorgio doesn't strike me as a bitch, because that would be a bitch move. He's well within his rights, and it wouldn't be, crazy for him to press charges for assault, but it's a bitch move.
Yeah, look,
it's like when Kobe got attacked by Jorge Masvidal on press charges. Yeah. That's a bitch move, dude. That's a bitch move.
What the difference is that they're both fighters. Giorgio's not pretending to be a fighter. He's a wrestler.
Yeah, no, sure. But Kobe Covington was attacked at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Not like in a locker room. He was at dinner. You know what I mean?
Still a fighter.
Like, I get it, but he was literally attacked.
Yeah,
at least this was in kind of a combat
situation. Kind of at the end, exhausted, trying to get that last takedown. I thought it was a good match. Obviously, a lot of controversy around the pushing and the head snaps and the clubbing to the head and the body shot, all that stuff. I don't think that they run it back. I don't think RAF wants to take the chance of them running it back. I don't think the UFC would want him to do it, and they would probably say, "Hey, don't even offer it to him." The relationship, I think, with guys like Ben Askren and Izzy and the RAF owners, it's got to have some sort of a relationship with the UFC. Be like, hey, you guys mind if we put this fight together? And I think in this situation, I think Giorgio he earned a lot of fans. Like you said, the best case scenario that could have happened is this just built him up even bigger. Because, like you said, Arman Saruki, being the number one contender, the best wrestler in the weight class, probably one of the best wrestlers in the sport altogether. And he struggled. He didn't get the takedown. Technically, didn't get the takedown against Giorgio. So that means he can go back to his social media platform and be like, never was taken down. Still haven't been taken down. And I wrestled one of the toughest and the number one contender in the UFC. I mean, it's very marketable for him. This worked out perfectly, I think.
Best thing that could have happened to him for sure.
So you don't think, just to clear this up, we'll wrap this up. So you don't think the UFC says, hey, you know what? This is what we're talking about. We're going to hold you off on another 3-4 months, 6-month hiatus.
I don't know.
No more title shots.
As the UFC certainly uses whatever they want whenever they want to. So if they decide they don't like Arman, then they'll use it to piss off Arman. Or, you know what I mean? To hold him back. Because Dana did that with the headbutt.
Yeah.
When somebody he was doing an interview with what's his name from Barstool there, and Dana's like, "Yep, that headbutt certainly had something to do with him not getting the next title shot." No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, you had your mind made up already. No, it didn't. Yeah. But it's easy to say. So
that's true. Do you think? Did you watch any of the other matches? Did you see the Ben Askren and Aljamain Sterling?
Kevin came from Chicago says listening to casuals talk wrestling is cringe.
Casuals.
What the fuck? Josh wrestled in college.
What the
Josh fuck wrestled in college. I wrestled my entire life. Josh trained with Olympians for the last 20 years. People just say shit.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Crazy world.
What is wrong with you?
Casuals.
Where did you come up with that?
I've coached 7 national champions. Then I moved to Texas and stopped coaching.
Oh man, I don't know. Things like that really yeah, man. I don't know. That's pretty weird to me. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into the fight night. Let's talk the main event. Brandon Moreno, Loner Kavanagh. What was your take on the young buck coming back after the brutal KO or the loss to what's his name? Johnson.
Charles Johnson.
Johnson.
Inner G. I think I did my recap. I started doing my recaps a little differently. I used to film them, wait till the event was over, sit down, film, and try to remember everything that happened throughout the event. Now I film each fight immediately after it happened, right? Like I'll just, wherever I am, just bang, here's my recap. And obviously the main event's a little different because you could do it in the moment. But my in the moment, no real time to process my in the moment was like, Loner looked spectacular, but I expected him to. I thought he would fade because he faded in his last fight, but he didn't fade. So the 25 minutes of cardio was very surprising. But I also thought,
especially at altitude. Especially at altitude. That's why
he looked like somebody who could go 25 minutes. Meanwhile, in the Charles Johnson fight, the reason he got clipped is his hands were low and he was slowing down. And I thought Brandon looked terrible, but I was very clear, and I'm going to be clear right now. I don't think Brandon looked terrible like he had an off night. That's how Brandon looks. He always has that awkward weirdo style where he's hunched over, lurched over, jerking in, jerking out. He's not naturally athletic. He's not naturally fluid, but he's so unorthodox and he's so tough. He can break people down. He can move forward. He can beat them. That shtick, I don't mean to call it a shtick, but like that is done now because now we have people like Loner Kavanagh who are that fast, that clean with that good of footwork. You can't just herky-jerky tough your way into those exchanges. And I think this is sort of the end of like a meaningful Brandon Moreno run.
I think
his style is catching up to him.
He's still young. He's only like 32. We keep saying that Brandon Moreno's fucking
old.
It's
it's about fight years and not calendar years.
It is about fight years. He's been in some fucking wars.
That's that dude's thing. He still got a chin on him, but he was rocked in the first or second
round.
Yeah.
Second round. Yeah, he got rocked. And I also thought it was maybe a little bit of an illegal knee or kick at the moment where his hand looked like it was still down or both hands were down. But look, regardless, he was already rocked. That's how he ended up with his hands down on the canvas. I thought Loner Kavanagh looked fantastic. What I will say is this, though, is when we talked about, and the same thing I'm going to say about Zellhuber, is that when we talk about guys making decisions, like business decisions over being a true fighter, this was a moment where Loner Kavanagh in that second round could have really chased after him, I think, and got after him. And he didn't. He chose to kind of sit back, pick and choose his shots, which I thought was smart, but you can still do that with aggressiveness, with combinations. Throw like, 2 threes real quick, get in, get out. He didn't do that. And so that could have potentially backfired on him as the fight went on. And we saw that Moreno ended up winning the third round. And then from then on, and I had it 49-46, I think is what I had it, but it was still, it could have went because you don't know how the judges scored those last 2 rounds with the wrestling, the pressing of the fence, no damage.
I wouldn't even call that wrestling. Yeah, I wouldn't. I thought we're in the era where empty takedowns don't matter. And those weren't even, it wasn't even takedowns.
Yeah.
It was cage. So like, listen, I tend to lean heavily on the wrestling just from watching this.
You're definitely leaning heavy in the wrestling. Yeah.
Watching this sport from the beginning, wrestling mattered a lot more, right? You'd see a fight where somebody was getting the shit beat out of them on the feet. They'd get one takedown. You're like, nice, won the round.
Yeah.
And I still have some of that in me. I've worked out most of it. Mm-hmm. But this was like, these weren't even takedowns.
Like working out the gayness a little bit.
I'm raised by immigrants.
Says the guy wearing a pink shirt. This is great.
That's not allowed in immigrant households. So I watched that and was like, Brandon Moreno's smart enough. He's got high fight IQ. He's been around forever, former world champion. He's smart enough to change his game plan, which he needs to do because he's not going to outstrike this kid. So let me go to the wrestling. 0 success wrestling whatsoever. 0 success. Like no wrestling success whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I get that I don't have the control time minutes here. I'm sure there was a ton of control time on paper, but holding somebody against the cage and unsuccessfully taking them down should be a negative, not a positive. There's no positive from that.
Yeah.
You tried to do something and you couldn't do it.
No, I would actually 100% agree with you. I think it's one of those positions where if you're not actually getting the takedown and aggressively working towards it, which he was not, he was somebody that was just pressing you to the fence, basically trying to pull a veteran move to get the win. I'm going to push you to the fence like in the old days, press him to the fence, hold him there. Oh, I'm winning. No, you're not.
That's how Randy Couture won a title.
And Big John and I have had these debates for the longest period of time is that, look, if I have you press against the fence after being shut down on a takedown, that's how we got to the fence. It's just a neutral position. It's no different than the two of us just basically hanging out in the middle.
Staring at each other.
Yeah, staring at each other. I mean, like you're resting on me and I'm leaning against the fence. I'm actually doing less work, so I'm the smarter fighter. John and I talked about that all the time. It's like, I don't think there's no advantage. Like, sure, it looks like the guy has ring control, but he doesn't really. He's just kind of resting against the person who's just leaning against the fence. They're actually holding each other up. Think of it that way. So
yeah, I mean, if you're working, if you're clinching and your knee in the body,
he was kneeing the legs a little bit, but it wasn't enough to do anything.
And then he would try to get a takedown, couldn't, and would come back up. So it's like, all right, well, you tried to do something. He stopped you from doing it. That's him. Like he is now winning this exchange.
But we also have to have the conversation about Kavanagh. He can't get complacent in those situations as a young kid. You can't let those rounds slip away. You don't know.
He did just chill on the fence. He did just chill on the fence. But I also, short notice, first 5-round fight, former world champion. I think he was literally worried about gassing. Like I think he was like, I'm good here. I'm not going to go crazy. I need to.
Took it on short notice.
Whatever cardio I have, yeah.
Took it on notice, at altitude, fighting in like where Brandon Moreno is obviously the huge favorite.
Yeah,
all of these things, and then coming off of the loss, he was fucking dealing with his own inner demons and had a great performance like that. I tip my hat to the young man. So, is this a changing of the guards though? Like, is this like, hey, Loner Kavanagh now, obviously being to be very highly ranked? Where do you see him in this whole situation, and what does this do with Brandon Moreno?
I also said this in my recap. It's funny.
By the way, because he keeps giving shameless plugs. Let's go ahead and say it's available on We Want Picks. You film it right after the show, and it's only about 30, 40 minutes.
yesterday I filmed throughout the day, and then it was public like 15 minutes later because I already had all the clips. No, but the reason I keep referencing that is because that's the last time I talked about this. And
Like
so
7 hours ago.
Yeah,
It's
almost. Yeah. So I think what I was mentioning that is it's interesting watching the rise and fall because so Brandon Moreno just lost, and now it's like he's washed, he's a loser, he's a bum, but he just lost to a very good loner Kavanagh. Somebody else loses to loner Kavanagh, they're not a loser bum. So it's like when you have the context of somebody's ranking and then they lose to somebody below them, they suck, they're awful. But the reality is there's a rise and a fall. So is Brandon Moreno a top 5 guy in the world? No, he's not anymore. Is he a top 20? He might be. Like he might be.
Yeah.
And there's something respectable about that. You are one of the 20 best fighters on planet Earth in your weight class. That's a huge accomplishment. But because he's going from 5 to 20, bum, loser, asshole, your career's over. And it's literally all about perspective. I don't know what's next for Brandon Moreno. I think he has to almost like look at his career, make some changes. Maybe he could say, all right, I've got one last go in me. I don't think he has a last go in him because this was just literally a tremendous, I'll say skill gap, if you will. Brandon's not fast enough. He doesn't hit hard enough. Yeah. He isn't wrestling anymore. Like now he's just kind of relying on durability and awkwardness. And that Amir Albazi win was great in the moment. That didn't age so well. We just saw him get the absolute shit kicked out of him. So I think Brandon Moreno either completely changes everything, new camp, new everything, and tries to work his way up, or he just looks at it realistically. He's like, listen, I love this sport. This gave me everything I have in my life. I'll fight. I'll fight the top 20 guys and see what happens.
Kavanagh, though, still young. Does the UFC push him and be like, hey, you know what? Now you're going to have this guy or that guy in the top 2 or 3. I mean, because now that puts him, I think he puts him ranked number 5 or number 4, somewhere in there again, Kavanagh, because he'll take the spot of Brandon Moreno, which I think Brandon Moreno is ranked number 4. Number 4 or number 6?
It's tricky because I don't think Loner Kavanagh is one of the 5 best. I think he just had a really good matchup against a guy that was hanging on to a spot that he probably shouldn't have had.
Yeah.
So I think you can ignore the rankings here. You know what I mean? I think you can just say, all right, I understand you're technically number 5 now or 6 or whatever it is, but let's mix things up a little bit. Let's give him Amir Albazi or give him a Sue Almabayev, who was supposed to be in this slot anyway. Give him a Kai Kara France. Give him some of these people who are at the bottom part of the rankings who are still very good, just to see where he actually is. Because I mean, he was knocked out. 2 fights, knocked out. He's not like he was knocked out. So I think
let's slow play it. I agree with you on the whole slow play. I have no desire to see him jump up and ruin it so young. This kid's got a ton of potential. I also want to put the promoter hat on again and be like, hey, he's young. That's one benefit. He's actually a good looking kid. He speaks English.
And he can represent China and he can represent England, I think.
Yeah.
He's half.
Yeah. He has the English accent or the British.
His mom's 100% Chinese. I think he speaks Mandarin.
Yeah, he's a good looking kid, man. So if you're marketability, if I'm the UFC, I'm like, what?
Relax, Epstein. We get it.
Oh, wow. I mean, look, obviously you wouldn't know anything about promoting anything, but except for your Big Macs and burgers and shit.
I had a big arch.
Speaking of, let's have it.
The big arch is good.
What's the big arch?
The brand new McDonald's burger.
Is it? Oh, so like it's from like McDowell's.
McDonald's. It's a brand new burger.
McDowell's. It's like the knockoff version. The McDowell's from Coming to America.
Oh, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah,
are you that retarded?
You did a movie reference from 1981. Now,
were you born in 81?
No.
Were you born in 83?
Yeah.
You are? Yeah. You're
I'm 42.
You're fucking such a baby, man.
Yeah.
Can you believe that I look 10 years younger than you and you're fucking 5 years, 6 years younger than me?
That's because of the height. People, if people are just looking at us from behind, they assume you're my son.
Chins. Don't pretend.
They assume you're my son.
No,
oh, he took that little boy with him. That's nice.
Oh, this guy. It's so sad, isn't it? That you have to. It's like, oh, everything's about your height. Why do you have such a complex? Somebody said in here is like,
you're gonna
how come his complex?
You're gonna call me fat. I'm gonna call you short. It's a pretty easy
I don't.
Fix the fat.
I'm technically not short. I'm 5'10". That's the same height as everybody else in the world. I mean,
sure.
Occasionally these freaks like you come out.
I'm pretty sure Tiffany's taller than you.
No, she's not. No, she is not. But this would explain why your daughter's almost as tall as me, though. Olivia's like this tall and she's 7 years old. Jeez, man. All right, let's go ahead and jump on to the next fight, man. You got David Martinez versus Marlon Vera. Chito doing it again, which means he was not doing it. He just was not delivering the shots. Was looking for the big shot as per usual in all of his fights. But that being said, this time it had nothing to do with him not pulling the trigger. He was trying to.
He was a little more aggressive than typically, but
yes. But David Martinez, great movement, started to slow down at the end of the fight. But obviously, David Martinez was the faster fighter, better lateral movement, and also looked like he hit harder. It looked like he had more power.
He blasted Cheetah. I don't know. I mean, it did. You're right. It did. It may have been just speed. Like literally was catching Cheeto off guard. Like he was just bang. He didn't even see it coming. I watched that fight. I bet on Cheeto. I did a +3.5 bet. What that means is I bet points on the judges' scorecards. You basically bet the spread. And all I needed him to do was win one round. And I knew going into that, he's going to lose the first round. He's going to lose the second round. If he wins, he might not win a round, but if he wins a round, it'll be the third. And that's exactly what we got. But we didn't get that because Cheeto waited, to your point, because a typical Cheeto fight is do nothing, do something, and then be like, oh, how did I lose? This is crazy. Mm-hmm. Where this fight, he wasn't high volume by any means, but he did some stuff. In the third round, he got great coaching that was like, go get this kid, you're losing. But David was exhausted from literally running. He was literally running. And luckily he was throwing his hands, so it wasn't like, cowardice. But he was literally running side to side. He did entire circles around that octagon. So I think it was just youth and movement versus Cheeto just trying to walk him down and find that big shot.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing like a changing of the guard in a lot of in the weight classes right now. You have guys like Cheeto get a little bit older in age. He's not old like he's in 40 years old, but he's getting a little bit older. And these younger guys with all the movement, they can outpoint the slower fighters are the ones that are getting older. And that's exactly what I think we saw last night. I thought, though, David Martinez looked fantastic.
He looked good.
I thought he looked good. I thought the movement was there. I thought his combinations were good. You could tell he slowed down. That I think also, too, in a 3-round fight at altitude in Mexico City, I got to be honest, I thought he was going to slow down a lot more with as much movement as he was having in the first round. I was like, dude, you're going to have to slow down. You're going to have to really pick and choose your shots and stop running on your fucking bike. And no, he was able to weather the storm. He did get clipped in that third round, though, and that scared me a little bit. But I thought Martinez looked fantastic. Good performance.
Yeah, he looked good. And he's smart as shit. He's well-educated. He's smart as hell, which is good. Where the hell did that come from? Because he logically was working through a very good game plan. He stuck with the game plan. He was making adjustments.
I thought you were going to be like his credentials on his college degree or some shit.
Well, in real life, he's well educated, and that is translating into fights because he's not just a moron trying to rely on natural athletic ability. He's putting things together. It was a great game plan, and he had a great performance. And this is a weird fight where it's like Cheeto doing Cheeto things. But watching Brandon Moreno, watching Cheeto, I'm like, yeah, this is probably it for Brandon. Like, I don't know who Brandon Moreno is going to be able to beat.
Yeah.
With that, like, herky-jerky, awkward, lean-over style, where it's like, no, Cheeto can still beat a lot of people. He can still beat a lot. He's just not top 10 in the world, but he can beat a lot of people.
Yeah. Bobby Green versus Daniel Zellhuber. Zellhuber, to me, man, my frustration. Look, I don't know the kid. I've never met the kid. I've seen him in passing, like at past events. Eric Nixick spoke so highly of him. Big John McCarthy spoke so highly of him. Extremely talented before he even lost his O. They were talking about how this kid's going to be the next big thing. He got beat by a 40-year-old last night.
2 40-year-olds in a row.
Deuces. 2.
Yeah. And the exact same way. Everybody wants to clown Cheeto. Oh, Cheeto doing Cheeto things, doing nothing. That's Daniel Zellhuber. He lost his last 2 fights doing absolutely nothing. I was screaming it from the rooftops coming into this one. I was like, you guys are going to bet a -500, a 5-1 favorite Daniel Zellhuber against Bobby Green. I get it. Bobby's been getting knocked out. I get it. And if you want to pick Daniel Zellhuber, pick him. He's younger. He should be more dynamic. Pick him. But to spend 5-1 odds on a dude who just got he got dropped and outworked by a 40-year-old Michael Johnson against another 40-year-old with very good striking who's just going to get in his face, you're out of your mind. You must hate money.
Yeah.
And Daniel Zellhuber he lost every second of that fight. He had no success in that fight.
Yeah. Look, he was looking good for the first probably minute and a half.
And then there was a fake takedown attempt, and then the wheels came off.
Yeah. He did a good job on rolling through on 2 of those takedown attempts.
He's got decent script. I think he has skills. He's just not able to pull the trigger for whatever reason.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to not compare it to, but I'm going to likeness it to is that with Zellhuber, I think because he lost last time and because he's had some downfalls, his confidence is shot. Okay. But I'm going to likeness to Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen has all these tools and all these weapons. Is such a great fighter. Now, I'm not going to say that Zellhuber's at the level of Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen to me is another step above, maybe even 2. But Zellhuber, though, has all these abilities and just chooses to not use them and chooses to second guess himself. And he chooses to just not pull the trigger and go out there and actually fight. And that's exactly what happened last night. He didn't pull the trigger. He got caught up in just the whole show of Bobby doing this. And let me just tell you guys, I speak from experience. The guy that I fought was KJ Noons. That dude started talking to me and I was distracted. I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing? We're fighting. Stop talking to me. I was getting so mad. I gassed out in that fight because it was throwing me off. Somebody relaxed. And I fought Bobby Green too. Bobby Green talking to me. That threw me off as well. It almost makes you feel like you're having fun, too much fun, and you're not actually fighting. And that's exactly what I saw last night. Down. Yeah, you not only just you bring your guard down, but you have this isn't really that serious. Which fighting to me, like it's serious when you're in the moment. But in life, it's not serious. And in this situation, he allowed, and I was a culprit of this as well, is you allowed that guy to do his thing with the shoulder. Nah, you missed. You missed me. Like all those things. And you get caught up in the moment of just like, oh shit, fuck, we're in round 3 and I've lost the first 2 rounds. Because this guy's showboating for the refs or the judges. And this guy is not taking a lot of damage. And every time he does throw, he fucking lands because I'm in fucking La La Land, looking at him doing this shit, and all this other stuff. That's exactly how he got caught up last night. He just didn't let anything go. Get after it. Make it. Sometimes a coach needs to tell them, you need to make this a dogfight.
That's what Cheeto's coach did that going into the 3rd. You are losing. You need to move forward, bring the fight to him. You are going to lose this fight. We are in Mexico City. You can knock him down 3 times and they won't give you this. Mm-hmm. So Cheeto, with Daniel Zellhuber, I think you have to cut him. And I'm not saying that I didn't bet on him. And I told the whole world to do not bet on this fool at -500. I think you need to
why you got to take that extra jab? Come on.
He's a fool.
I promote weighing in ever since Big John left on being positive. You're over here calling fighters fools.
Was
shit on you.
What I wear and how I act.
Yeah, but shit on you though is different.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm not saying cut him. You didn't let me get there. I'm not saying cut him because he sucks. He's not UFC level. I think you need to cut him for his own mental well-being. Cut him. Let him beat the shit out of a handful of regional dudes, and then come back like a new man. Yusuf Zalal got cut. Yusuf Zalal had a horrific run in the UFC. Not by his doing. He just had Ilia Topuria. He had a bunch of really hard matchups. They cut him. He gets some regional wins, comes back on short notice, and now he's unstoppable. Yeah. So I think you need to cut him. For his own sake, he's 0-3. He's lost to 2 40-year-olds as -500 favorites. Yeah. The UFC is here are some favorable matchups for you. Yeah. And he didn't do it. And it's not so earlier on the card, we watched Francis Marshall get a win. Francis Marshall's record recently hasn't been great, but Francis Marshall's fighting his ass off and he's losing close ones. Daniel Zellhuber's doing nothing. It's a mental issue. It's in his head. It's not in his hands. It's not in his feet. It's in his head. And I think you have to cut him, let him fight on the regional scene, fix the head, get some wins, get your confidence back, and then come back.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that I had a conversation with Javier Mendez when I was training for my very first UFC fight, and I would spar with Frank Shamrock. Frank Shamrock had this mental thing over me, and I just couldn't pull the trigger. I couldn't fight him aggressive. I was letting him dictate, control the ring because we always sparred in a ring there with ropes. And right before I was a week out from my first fight in the UFC, Javier goes, look, I don't care what happens. You need to go out there and just be overly aggressive. Just take his head off. Just get out, whatever. If you have to foul him, foul him. He's like, I don't care. If you want a jumping spear elbow, I don't care. Whatever you want to do to him, but show me that you're not afraid of him. And that was like a little switch of like, fuck you. I'm just going to do whatever. Because your coach, he was his coach at the time too. He's telling me to hurt you, and this was one of those moments like it was like a thing that just switched in my head. Daniel Zellhuber needs a coach to tell him,
yeah,
we're not out here being friends, man. We need it. We're fighting for our lives, we're not just fighting to win this fight. We're fighting for you to stay in this organization.
Yeah, this is your job on
yes.
Because he wasn't exciting.
You don't throw
punches.
anything. Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, especially in this era, if fighters haven't gotten like the unofficial message of we'll cut you. We don't care if you're ranked or whatever. We will cut you if you're boring, to go out there and not pull the trigger. And I get it. Bobby Green's not an easy night out for anybody, but
it's a tough fight.
Do something. Like, you're waiting. Fight. You're waiting. Do something.
Yeah, that's true. Edgar Chairez versus how do you say this guy's last name? Boonez? Boonez?
I say Boons, but yeah, it's Boonez.
Yeah, gotcha. Good fight. Good little back and forth battle. The favorite won, scraped it by though. I mean, how did you score that card or that fight?
I thought that was an accurate scorecard. And now a little biased. I had a bet on Edgar Chairez, but I think he clearly lost the first round, very clearly, and I thought he won the next two. Now, were they super close? Yeah, and I think he won the next two rounds literally within the last 10 seconds of each round. They were razor thin rounds, and then he just bang, let his hands go. People cheered like, all right, that was a close round. I'll give it to him. Same thing, same thing in the third. So I thought 29-28 was the correct score there. And I said this last night too. I'm like, if you're mad at the judges, don't be mad at them. Be mad at Felipe. How you have that success in the first round and then only attempt one single takedown after that point in the next two rounds is crazy. It's crazy. You had this dude's back for 4.5 minutes of a 5-minute round.
And then do this in the third round as if like you were winning the fight. Like, bro, you still have work to do. Like you won the first, you lost the second. It was close, but you probably lost the second. And in the third, instead of capitalizing on the last like minute of the fight, you're over here doing this and walking away. I was first off, the UFC seemed like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like you were fucking just picking him apart and dismantling him that whole time. And you just weren't able to get him out of there because the guy's dog tough. No. It was a close fight. You need to win this round to win the fight. You seem like fucking get this guy out of here. This Boonez guy or Boons, whatever, he's going to have to figure it out because that type of shit will get you cut. I'm not saying they should cut him. I'm simply saying I've seen the UFC be like, dude, what are you doing? Like now his next matchup may not be favorable. So they can say, hey, get out of here. We're done. Go get some.
He has not had favorable matchups. I'm looking at his record right now. Josh Van was his first UFC fight, now the world champion. Then he beats Jose Johnson. Then he fights Rafael Estevam, who's just a nasty wrestler who was able to take him down, hold down. And then he gets this matchup in Mexico, a fight he was supposed to lose, and then he did lose. What's funny too is he had that again. No, I didn't. Did I?
Yeah.
I was
just went grabbing like this.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there it is.
I guess I did that.
You do it a lot. It's like this little.
I don't know why. It's not
like this little gay hand thing you do. It's really weird.
I think I don't even know why, because this isn't like tight or awkward fitting. I don't know. It's actually phenomenal. Young Ellie. Anyway,
please.
I think I can't even look at it and be like, you won the first round. You look great. He won the first round because he had a nice little scramble against the cage and just climbed his back and stayed there. So Felipe really very clearly won the first round, but didn't put himself in a position to continue winning. And it's like, of course Edgar Chairez is going to win this fight. Of course he's going to win this fight. It's in Mexico. And he was the one, at least, first of all, I don't think Edgar's that good, but at least he was throwing his hands trying to do something.
I mean, you could say, look, I know you're making the argument. Oh, it was in Mexico. He should have won. I mean, you could have said the same exact thing about the main event, though, with Brandon Moreno, and it didn't come through. You could have.
I think Brandon Moreno's fight was closer to a 50-45 than it was whatever the hell the math is on a 3-2.
I don't know how you say his first name. I know he trained at AKA and at /DCs and down in California. Emmanuel? Emmanuel? I know it's Rodriguez at the end.
Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas.
Against Kevin Borjas. Rodriguez, great fight. Great fight. I loved it. I love the fact that Rodriguez went through some adversity.
A lot of it. That dude got dropped 3 times in the first 3.5 minutes of that fight.
I mean, let's it just to me, this is I go back to the Zellhuber situation. This kid versus that kid in terms of like level of just wanting to be a fighter. You don't get that. I don't get that feeling. Do you think Zellhuber's cutting too much weight? He's big. They were bragging about how he's like 6'1". Like, is he cutting too much weight? Is it affecting his chin?
I think it's a mental thing. Like, let's look at Kevin Borjas in this fight. Kevin Borjas drops Imanol Rodriguez, almost finishes him 3 times in the first round, then fades and gets finished himself. Nobody's going to hate on Kevin for that. You got tired trying to finish somebody. Yeah. No, you can't get mad at that. Zellhuber, he cuts too much weight. Tired wasn't his issue. Not throwing was his issue. Where,
I'm not saying tired. I'm saying that I think that maybe cutting too much weight has an effect on his chin, which happens.
If he got clipped in a flurry of offense, great. He didn't do shit. He didn't do anything. Like,
interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not doing anything.
I get what you're saying. I'm wondering if he somewhat in his mind is like, my chin's not great. And I think his last 2 fights is kind of proven. Like, is he?
Yeah, he got dropped and then now finished by Bobby. Bobby Green doesn't really finish people with power, and he was able to do that. But back to this kid. Obviously, Imanol survived, got through hell to get that win. Great win, good for him. And I congratulations to Kevin Borjas for going in there, laying it on the line. Yeah. Huge underdog. He was a 5-1 dog, a huge underdog. Almost knocked this dude's head off. Then he gets tired. He gets finished himself. But not all losses are equal. And this is
this is very true. Yeah,
I love good loss.
I love what you just said there. Not all losses are equal. I like that. That's the first smart thing that's come out of your mouth in years. What other fights on these prelims did you like? Is there any
I thought Santiago Luna looked fantastic. Border Boy against Angel Pacheco. He didn't finish Angel, and that's his nickname. I didn't make that up.
I know.
I'm not like
I know, buddy. Calm down, Ice.
Well, you laughed at it. I was like, wait a minute. But I saw people criticizing, like, oh, this kid's not that good. He didn't finish Angel. Nobody finishes Angel. We saw how tough he was. Like, Angel Pacheco's tough as shit. Santiago Luna's hands look good. His wrestling looked good, and he worked. First of all, he's 21. Second of all, he also worked through adversity. Angel Pacheco's boxing was clean, and he was landing nice, and Santiago Luna adjusted to the wrestling when he needed to. He's a 4-time national champion wrestler. He did not get tired at elevation, and he wrestled. Like, I thought Santiago Luna looked great. I thought he looked great, and people were pissed he didn't find a finish. What are we doing?
No, I thought he looked fantastic as well. Yeah. The new young girl, Regina Terran, comes in on short notice, fighting the altitude. I know there's a lot of hype around her because people are like, oh, she's got a little body, she's got a little this, there's
what's funny though is the pictures that came out before the fight and the fight were very like she was a soccer mom stuffing herself into those pants in the fight. But before the fight,
wow,
look at this chick.
Wow.
She stepped up on short notice, like it is what it is. But it is funny because the attention was all about how attractive she is and all of that. And then people were like, wait a minute, is this the same person from those pictures that got pushed around? But she stepped up on 3 days' notice, and I guess she just tried out for WWE like a week ago.
And did she make it though? I thought I read somewhere that they asked her, and she's like, "No, I'm gonna go do this real quick." That's pretty fucking impressive.
I don't know, but she was impressive in this fight. I thought she won this fight too. A lot of people felt that Ernesta should have won. Regina very clearly won the first round just by moving forward. She had Ernesta in some trouble, not afraid to throw her hands, just let it go. And then I thought she won the third round again as well. So I thought that you get an opportunity like that. She was a dog, but not a huge dog. You get an opportunity like that, short notice, you step up, you show up, you do what you're supposed to do. Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah. Look, she also won the $100,000. She won $100,000 for fight of the night or something like that.
Yeah,
she got
both,
one of those.
Yeah, her and her. Because Ernesta brought the fight too.
Absolutely.
Ernesta had a good fight. Ernesta's a distance technical striker, and Regina said, "Fuck your distance." And
Ernesta hit Regina with a fucking head kick through the glove, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And she just kept swinging.
Yeah,
this is what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Like in the female division, look, we're not asking for you guys to be like the most technical. And I know you guys they're there. Like you have the ones like Valentina Shevchenko, you got Weili.
Yeah.
Super technical. But to be honest, like, have you not learned anything from the men? like the best fights are the fucking Neanderthal type fights,
Yeah.
right? The Yuri Prochaska and Glover Teixeira type fights where guys
Yuri's getting like a 5th title shot now.
Yeah, because he's just like it's fun. It's fun to watch him make mistakes, either get knocked out or just make it look so entertaining because he's just all over the place, spinning back fists, spinning heel kicks, wrestle a little bit, come back up, like doing all this weird shit. It's fun to watch him fight. This to me, Regina Taryn, great job. Great job bringing the action, 3-day notice at altitude. Fantastic. I'm happy that they're going to be adding her to the roster. And man, that was a little jab you took at her. I don't know if I appreciate that.
I'm just going off what social media was doing. Those are the pictures that were floating around on Twitter. People were like, "What the hell is this? I don't understand." Obviously, like showed up short notice. They had it is at a catch weight 130 instead of 125 because it was short notice, and endless cardio. For the volume that she put out, endless cardio. It's crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was great. There was also some fight announcements from Dana White. Let's go ahead and talk about that. But here we go. We've got the UFC 327 Prochaska versus Olberg. What is your take on this main event? I want to actually just trickle down through the card just real quick, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it on that. But I want to just get your feeling on this. What was your take when they announced this fight, the Yuri Prochaska and Olberg? I believe it's for the vacant title.
It is. Yeah, Dana said that. And that's what's so funny. Dana said that Alex is moving up, but now we just, or no, not he's moving. He just said he's vacating the belt. So now we just have to sit here and wonder. It's obvious. I mean, it has to be for the interim. It's got to be. I'm more curious what the hell Alex is doing than this. I am fine with this matchup. It should be fun. Striker versus striker. Carlos Ulberg, 10 times more technical than Yuri, but Yuri is freaking Yuri. And we've seen Carlos put out. Kennedy and Chukwu, he was dominating Kennedy and Chukwu. He was technical. He was jabbing him up. And Kennedy just was moving forward, landed a huge one, and put out Carlos. So Yuri could absolutely do the same. Like, I don't care how hard you train. I don't care how technical you are. I don't care. Savage is savage. And like, I could see Ulberg getting mentally broke, doing everything he could possibly do. And Yuri's just still there, just moving forward, being a crazy person.
Yeah, especially as this fight gets into rounds 4 and 5. I mean, we've seen Yuri's trained and fought multiple times in a 5-round situation and been trained for 5 rounds. So this is nothing new to him.
And only Alex has been able to like hurt him. Nobody else has.
It's big power. The guy's just blessed with fucking power.
Yeah.
Something I never
Wait,
had.
hold on. Don't switch yet. I'm trying to see the odds. We have the odds here.
Let's talk.
Yuri's a tiny favorite, -120 favorite.
Yeah. Look, I think if I was to take this bet, right, if I was to kind of play it both ways, I would say Yuri by probably like a 4th or 5th round, maybe finish, or I'd say Olberg in the first round and a half, finish by KO.
Those are probably the 2 most likely outcomes.
I don't think this fight goes the distance, to be honest.
Because Ulberg, first of all, I don't think Ulberg beat Jan Blachowicz. I thought Jan beat him. I thought that was a bad decision. Ulberg was just kind of dancing around, trying not to engage. Yuri won't let you do that.
Yeah.
You don't get to dance around. Yuri just moves forward like an absolute psychopath.
Yep. Yeah. And punches and kicks come from everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not a traditional style of stand-up. And it's very tough to deal with. And then we got the next fight, Joshua Van versus Tetsuo Taira. We knew this fight was coming. I think a lot of people are pretty excited for it. Look, you have a Japanese fighter now, and I think the Japanese fighters will start to make headway into the UFC in the lighter weights. Ryzen's doing a really good job of building up that group of fighters, and then now shipping them, or allowing them to come fight in the UFC once they get to a certain level. They're going to struggle, I think, a little bit from the jump, but I think ultimately they're going to end up like guys like Horiguchi, guys like Tetsuo Taira. They're going to end up finding their way and realizing the level that they need to compete at, and they're going to have some success in the lighter weights. Like I say, 125, 135. Potentially 45, but I still think it's going to be 25, 35, which I'm happy to see Taira in there. He's a good-looking kid, very marketable, looks like a fucking anime kid. Shut your whore mouth. Okay?
It's a lot of good-looking kid talk on that side.
Man, you have to, as a promoter, right? You've got to look at it that way. You've got to look at like, man, who can I get that I can market? Because right now they're lacking stars. And the stars that they do have are kind of on the way out. Alex Behead, John Jones, those guys are gone pretty much. You know, other guys like Justin Gaethje getting older. I mean, like these guys are getting a little bit older, man. Islam is probably going to have 2, maybe 3 fights at the most in this weight class, and I think he's gone too. So, what's your take on the Joshua Van and Taira fight?
Yeah, it's interesting because I've been historically, I have not thought either one of them were as good as their hype. I think they're both very good, but I was very big on Tatsuro Taira was losing to Alex Perez. Alex Perez was beating him. He literally won the first round on the scorecards. He was winning that fight, and then his knee got blown out. Like, that's how he won that fight. And then he actually lost to Brandon Royval. Like, and then when he went into his last fight against Moreno, I was like, Moreno could win this, blah, blah, blah. So I think Tatsuro Taira's record is there's a couple of asterisks in there. And the same can be said about Josh Van. He got knocked out by Charles Johnson, which apparently is the catalyst to a very successful career. But he also
he's like the Chuck, right? After you date her, fucking she gets married to the next person.
Yeah, after Charles Johnson knocks you out, things are going to go real well for your MMA career. I think Joshua Van is obviously very good. His fight with Brandon Royval was an absolute banger. He's got good takedown defense, but he's a little chinny. Like, he's been rocked and wobbled multiple times. Almost. Was it Edgar Chairez that had him on ice skates? So it's an interesting matchup. I'm surprised to see who do you think the favorite is? I'm looking at the odds right now. I'm surprised.
I think it's gonna be Tatsuro Taira.
Yeah, dude, he's almost a 2-1 favorite. Yeah. And frankly, if Josh Van defends those takedowns, he's got good takedown defense. He's short, he's stocky, he's got those big legs. If he defends these takedowns, he lights up Taira on the feet. He lights him up.
Yeah, I want to just say, like, I've trained with a lot of really good Japanese fighters. Trained with Takanori Gomi. I've trained with other names as well. But I've trained with guys that were really good grapplers that came out of there. And you're looking at them, you're like, man, you're not that good. But their positioning, the way they break down the technique, he looks like one of those guys that, like, you're like, I'm gonna just be able to, like, do this and do that. You don't look physically that strong. To me, I think he's probably really strong, and his positioning and where he puts his pressure gives people a lot of problems. And now that he's settled into the UFC, I think he's going to have success. I think there's a good chance he can get past Joshua Van, especially if he gets this fight to the ground. And I think there's a good chance he can finish him.
Josh Van's fought a lot of wrestlers so far. That's the upside to Josh Van in this matchup. Like, Tatsuro Taira has fought two good primary strikers, and he lost to them both. He was losing to Alex Perez, primary striker, but then he got that freak, blew his knee out. And he literally lost to Brandon Royval. And now he's going to need to get this to the ground because of Joshua Van's just insane. He fights like Brandon Royval. So he's going to need to get this to the ground. And Joshua Van, I have the wrong thing up here. But if Joshua Van, if you look at his fight history, he beats Rai Tsura, a Japanese nonstop wrestler. He beats Cody Durden, chinny, but a nonstop wrestler. He beat Zalgaz Zumagulov in his UFC debut, a nonstop wrestler. Like, most of his UFC career has been stopping wrestling and letting his hands go. And I'm just, if Tatsuro Taira win, like, I'm not saying Josh Van's going to run through him. I'm just shocked that there is a 2-1 favorite in this fight.
Got it. I think also, too, you got to look at it in terms of if a guy's just going to wrestle, right? Like you said, Zumagulov and who was the fighter before that?
Rai Tsura, Japanese wrestler, and Cody Durden.
Okay, so these guys are just like straight wrestling, though.
Well, Cody Durden throws an overhand from his hip, and then he shoots a takedown.
Yeah.
So
but I'm saying, like, these type of positions, though, versus a guy who actually punches to the clinch, gets into the scrambles, creates scrambles, gets to the top position, and then attacks. That's how Taira's, I think, a little bit different, where he's gonna have to deal. He can hang on Joshua Van, who doesn't seem to be a very big flyweight. Taira, to me, I feel like physically doesn't look big, but he's
tall, he's not long, he's just thick.
Look, there's a lot of talk right now that Josh Hokic is getting the Dana White privilege because of this fight. Do you think this is a Dana White privilege against Curtis Blades?
Oh, Curtis Blades. I don't know if it's Dana White privilege, because to me, Dana White privilege isn't big fights against good fighters. Dana White privilege is what Sean O'Malley got, a title shot off mediocre wins. And I think, Josh Hokic fighting a top 5 heavyweight in Curtis Blades, that's not Dana White privilege. He's being rushed to the top, but that's because this division kind of sucks, and he's clearly a good fighter, and he says crazy shit in the microphone. So I think he's being given an opportunity, but it won't be privilege unless he gets a title shot off that win. Then it's like, all right, dude, you have one good win. You got a title shot.
So just like they did with Conor McGregor, right? I think what people mean by Dana White privileges, and this is what I think of, is with Conor, they gave him guys that were mainly stand-up, and when they did give him a wrestler, they gave him a guy that was 2 weeks' notice or 10 days' notice against Chad Mendes. In this situation, they know that Josh Hokic is mainly a wrestler who's not afraid to throw big shots. But they said, hey, who can we get you in the top 10? We don't have to worry about you really getting clipped and knocked out, but you can wrestle with. And it was going to be Curtis Blades. Also, Curtis Blades, I don't think they have a fondness for. I don't know
Maybe
what
not,
it
but
is.
Curtis Blades is now that John Almeida's gone, probably the best wrestler at heavyweight. He's not an All-American. Josh Hokett is an All-American, but Curtis Blades at least was before Josh Hokett the best wrestler in heavyweight in the UFC.
But that's what my point is. They're like, look, we want to see you get after another wrestler versus trying to put you against somebody who has the potential to either stuff a takedown and then outstrike you. Now we know that you can just wrestle with another wrestler, and we can get one of the wrestlers out of here.
To me, Dana White privilege would have been if they gave Josh Hokett like a bum, let him knock that dude's brains out, and then be like, title fight. That would be Dana White privilege. Or
I don't think we're going that far, buddy.
Or you give him like, Tai Tuivasa and then a title fight. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like Curtis Blades is still a very good fighter. Let me
a Marcin Tybura, right? Just take him down.
Like,
can't get off his
somebody,
back.
Somebody like a Brandon Moreno in the heavyweight division. Hold on. UFC heavyweight rankings. Somebody like that who should not be in the rankings anymore, but they're just kind of hanging on from inactivity and the rest of the division stuff.
Spivak or Tybura or Derek Lewis.
If they gave him Derek Lewis, would be closer to Dana White privilege in my mind, because Derek Lewis very clearly has a quit button in him. You can out wrestle him with little to no effort. You could out wrestle him. So that would be more of a, okay, hey, we're going to give him an quote unquote easy matchup in the top 10, either Derek or Marcin, and then go from there. Actually, Marcin's probably tougher than Derek because Marcin's a little more well-rounded. We have Curtis Blades at number 4 in the world, and Curtis Blades has good wins recently. He beat Kunaev. He beat before that he beat Jonathan Almeida, and he lost to Tom Aspinall. Like, somebody just commented Blades is washed. Robot Chicken, he watches my channel too, and he's an idiot there also. No, how is Curtis Blades washed? He just beat Kunaev, who just got a good win. Before that, he loses to the current heavyweight champion. He beats Jonathan Almeida. Like, I get he got knocked out by Pavlovic, but Pavlovic hits like a freight train. Like,
yeah, he does.
I don't think he's washed. I think he's a top 5 heavyweight in, somewhat weak division, but I would not call this Dana White privilege. I think he's getting an opportunity because of because
of the way he steamrolled his current competition. That's one.
And the division's weak.
And 2, the division's weak. And then 3 would be it because he knows how to market himself. He does crazy Macho Man, Randy Savage type bullshit.
It's
interviews.
Cringy as hell, but everybody
cringy,
hears it and sees it and talks about it. So who cares?
Exactly. And he says some wild shit that people just are like, what the fuck? It's like the next Strickland kind of coming up.
Yeah, at least Strickland, I think, believes some of the stuff he says, and then he just gets going and makes it more extreme. I don't think Hokett believes anything he says. I think he's just Hokett's trying to do the Chael Sonnen, and not trying. He is
the Colby Covington, Chael Sonnen, and that type of thing.
Yeah. He's playing a character. Where Sean Strickland is just an exaggerated version of himself. Where Hokett's a literal character.
Okay, I'm gonna name off some of these fights. You give me an idea. I want you to talk whichever ones you like here. Benil Dariush versus Manuel Torres.
I mean,
yeah.
Sorry, Benil. I love Benil Dariush.
What are they doing? I feel like they wanted to be killed. What are you guys doing?
I picked him to beat Moicano, but that was very much like, hey, Moicano's so focused on podcasting. He's not really training. But, I mean, he looked terrible in that fight, too. Yeah. That's his most recent win.
Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker.
2 chinny dudes that'll get after it. It's fun. It'll be a fun fight, and one of them will get put out.
Mirzakhanov and Paulo Costa. Fun fight. I like this fight.
I like Mirzakhanov.
Yeah. 16-0. Or 7, 16? Yeah, 16-0.
I like him. I like Mirzakhanov. He could be a little slow sometimes.
What's the betting odds on this one?
They're not out yet.
No.
Oh, the only odds out
in the main event,
co-main. Yeah. I imagine Mirzakhanov would be the favorite there. Because Paulo Costa, he's another guy that's sort of lingering in the top 5 basically for no reason, but then he looked really good against Roman Kopylov. Out of nowhere, he looked good. And I don't think Mirzakhanov will give him the same courtesy that Roman did.
I highly doubt it.
Of backing up.
All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and talk about this real quick. Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico, the match that should have happened in Bellator. The match that should have happened in PFL.
The UFC overpaid for a matchup that should have happened 5 years ago.
Yeah, overpaid for a matchup that could have happened 5 years ago, but should have happened in two different organizations.
Yeah.
This fight had been talked about. This was supposed to be Patricio's last fight before Bellator had wrapped up. They were talking about making it for the title as the almost like a headliner or a co-main event on the last UFC or Bellator 301 card, I believe is what it was. And then they went to PFL and they were like, okay, we're going to make that fight. We're going to make that fight, and never came about. And so now here we are in the UFC. Why do you think, and I have my own thoughts on this, why do you think they put this fight together?
Because they spent all that money on them and they need one of them to get a win and move forward, and it's Aaron Pico. Because they're like, listen, Pitbull's old, loses to Yair, so he's not tie 5, but beats Dan Ige, who we now know is, not who he used to be. Let's get Aaron Pico a freaking win here so we can do something. At least he's young.
Mm-hmm.
And if in UFC London in 2 weeks, if what's his name, who just knocked out Pico, beats what the hell's his name?
Lerone Murphy.
Yeah, if Lerone Murphy beats Evloev, all of a sudden that Pico loss isn't the worst thing we've ever seen.
True. Yeah, that's true. I think honestly, I have like my tin cap on and all this other shit. But you can't have two Bellator fighters in the rankings. And one is getting older, and you have a younger one at 29, 30 years old. You want to try to get Aaron Pico the win, like you're saying. And Aaron's he's at this stage in the career is the more marketable fighter. He has got a pretty big following, and very likable, just extremely likable, right? Patricio, obviously, I think is 38 or 39 years old. I love watching him fight, man. I've got nothing but respect for Patricio and Aaron Pico.
And Pitbull just
coming off back surgery.
Losain, whatever his name was, missed weight, and Pitbull refused to accept the fight, which he's well within his rights to do. And
we missed it by almost 5 pounds.
No, I'm not criticizing him for that. Yeah. We just know the UFC hates that.
They do.
So the UFC might be like, you know what? Screw you. You can fight another Bellator guy who's probably going to beat you.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, though. I mean, I think this is a good fight. I'm glad we get to finally see it, though. It is 5 years too late, or at least 3 years too late. But Gamrot versus Ribovics. I like this
Ribovics,
fight.
Great
fight.
Ribovics.
I like
that is a good fight. Yeah, Ribovics is a ton of fun. He's very good.
Yes, I would agree with you 100%. Cub Swanson, potentially his last fight. I don't know if he's fully announced that this is his last fight against Nate Landwehr. These are the type of fights I'd like to see Cub in.
2 old dudes. Yeah, let him have at it.
Had these two? I thought these guys had already fought before. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. Have they fought before?
Oh no, I don't think so.
No, I don't. Oh, man, I thought they did. I don't know why. For some reason, I had that they had fought already.
I know why.
Shut up. Oh, let me guess. I know all black people look alike. I know.
Oh my God. My brain didn't even.
You know what's funny? Now that I've lived here in Texas for this long, I feel like all white people look alike. Bro,
I look hey, have you met like anybody I know?
They're like, hey, have you met Erica? And I'm like, fuck, who's that?
Women, yeah. No, yes, all the moms look the same.
They all fucking look alike. I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is Erica? Who the fuck is Jessica? Who the fuck is Jennifer? What the? They all seem like they all look alike.
Well, the moms all look the same because because there's like the hive mentality. They all wear the same shit. They all have the same, like the moms. One mom will wear something, another one will be like, that's nice, go buy the same thing. And they all dress alike, look alike, act alike.
That's hilarious. Who do you think wins this fight? Randy Brown, Kevin Holland?
Predicting a Kevin Holland fight's a fucking impossible. Is he going to show up? Is he not going to show up? Is he going to do something? Is he not going to do something?
I would never bet on him. Is he not
going to care? You can't. The only time Kevin Holland's worth betting on is if he's somehow a huge underdog. Then it's like, all right, well, let's see. But if he's even remotely close to a favorite or even money, you can't trust that dude. Kevin Holland doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about his own career. He cares about nothing. And it's crazy. And I met him in person and I expected him to be a lot cooler than he is. He's not cool. And I'm not, and this is in an environment where he should have been cool. And he's just very like, I don't know how to explain it. And maybe it was an off day, but it was very, him and everybody he was with, the vibes were awful, dude. Fucking awful. Meanwhile, I've spent time with a lot of other people that could be awful and it would be justified, and they were just cool as fuck. Like I'm just very soured on Kevin inside the cage. His interview when he was with Rampage, just trying to, I know more about guns than you, so I'm cooler than you. What the fuck are you doing, dude? This is the cringiest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Very strange.
Like, I'm so soured on Kevin Holland. It's crazy.
Interesting. Interesting. You got Kelvin Gastelum versus Vicente Luque. I like this fight. Two older guys getting after it a little bit. I think it's going to favor Kelvin Gastelum. The speed,
he's another one, dude. You can't trust that bastard. Now you can trust him. I was gonna say you can trust him to fight. He never doesn't. He never doesn't fight. But is he going to be prepared? Is he going to be fat? Is he going to be tired? Like, who the hell knows?
He doesn't get tired, bro. Obviously, when does he get tired?
He gets. You're right.
Mexicans don't get tired, bro.
He does get tired. It just doesn't affect him. You know, he'll still keep throwing.
That extra tire he has, like yours is 2 or 3 tires, but that extra tire he has is an extra gas
square.
tank.
He's a literal square.
But this dude, like Big John used to call him like his oh shit, it was a pro boxer. Fucking I can't remember the name now. Shit. But you like basically Duran. Oh yeah. Yeah, anyways. Roberto Duran. You just call him that. Like the guy that just stands in front, goes after it, aggressive. Like I love watching Kelvin Gastelum fight. Vicente Luque,
I think he beats the piss out of Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque, like Kelvin's wildly inconsistent and a lot of you definitely can't trust that fucking dude.
No.
But Vicente Luque's like brain was bleeding and then like he's been getting fit. Like Vicente Luque's dedicated, puts in the time. He's everything Kelvin is not as far as like prepared and professional and all that, but his body has just given up on him.
Yeah. Hey, we have fallen from the graces with Tatiana Suarez, title shot, then like not great performances, and then now she's opening the card. Basically, oh no, she's not opening. There's one more fight below that.
There's no fucking way she's opening the card, dude. There's no way.
No, she's opening like on the prelims. She's number 2. She's the number 2 fight on the prelims.
There's no way.
Tatiana Suarez versus
it can't be
Lupita Godinez. The two of them are the second fight. Lupi.
She beats Lupi, and it's unfortunate. Covert Bet says, "Where's the hat? The hat's right here." Josh fucking made fun of it last time, so I'm wearing a different hat.
Looks like a thrift store hat. I mean,
Lupi's
brand new Tenori. Fucking awesome hat.
It's a distressed hat. Are you not familiar with like Abercrombie?
Really, the fucking distress around you is your fucking belt, your buckle.
That my heart's stressing, trying to pump blood to this giant Dirk. Anyway,
that's little dick energy right there. That's straight up high school little dick energy right there.
That's why I said it in that stupid voice. Lupi Godinez is a good wrestler. Her sister is an Olympian. Her sister is an Olympic wrestler. Lupi is just as inconsistent as a Kevin Holland, as a Kelvin Gastelum. She is so unbelievably talented. Lupi, doing what she can do, could be a world champion. You don't know what you're going to get out of her.
Yeah.
Tatiana Suarez, I know what I'm going to get out of her. It might not be an exciting fight, but I'm 100% sure she's going to wrestle her ass off, and she's probably going to get the takedowns and probably win this fight.
Yeah. Then this Francisco Prado, man, I love watching this kid fight. He's fun. He should also be a lightweight. That's my argument with him. Like, can't recall ever seeing Christopher Alvarez or whatever fight. Do you know anything about him? No. Okay. But look, for me, Francisco Prado, like he's a shorter guy, stocky, got a good build. He's aggressive, but also to me, I feel like he should be a lightweight. He's not a big welterweight. So I don't understand. Angelo, look, that's going to wrap up our UFC. Huh?
He moved up.
Yeah, he needs to move back down.
Yeah, I was just saying, like he doesn't look the part because he's not the part. He moved up a weight class.
So look, that's gonna wrap up our UFC 327, the fight announcements. And Dana said he's gonna come out and have the White House card. Give me your prediction. We've been talking about this for 6 months now, but
it's gotta be Alex. Why the hell?
No, 100% it's gonna be Alex. That's why you vacate. But is it gonna be Alex and Gone, or is it gonna be Alex and John?
That I have no idea. And they're also saying they're going to lose $30 million on that card. And I saw
60. Well, sorry. It's going to cost them 60. 30 million will make it up in sponsors and whatever else, but they're going to probably lose.
And it'll be money well lost. Like as long as the card delivers, because you can't buy airtime like that. Like this will be national news. This isn't just a big fight event that exists in our little MMA bubble. This will be on like real news. You know what I mean? Like, this will be on Sunday evening news and stuff like that. So this will be the most watched UFC event in history. It won't even be remotely close. It'll bury every previous MMA viewership records, and it'll have numbers like real sports, like World Series type numbers.
Will this do 100 million
views?
Yes.
Dude, what the fuck does the Super Bowl do? No.
No. You look at Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, 100 million. Will it do 100 million? That's why
that's available. Yeah, I mean, good point.
That's Netflix. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
you're right. Yeah, I mean, that is Netflix is the problem. I mean, that's a very good point. I don't know. I don't know.
I think the Super Bowl does 260 million, 230 million, somewhere around there every year.
Because this being at the White House is American news. I don't think anybody else gives a shit like that. Where Mike Tyson is, we talked about the Mike Tyson thing before. He's a three generation guy. So there are people on every corner of the world that know who Mike Tyson is.
No, I agree. I'm not arguing that point. I'm saying though that you're like, I think it's gonna be close to, I think probably it won't be 100 million. 100
million is a crazy number.
It is. It's insane.
I don't know if any combat. I don't know if that'll ever be broken again. I think Jake Paul, Mike Tyson goes down as the most watched combat sporting event in history. I don't think that'll ever be broken.
You said something to start this conversation off, though, was that like now, especially with from what I understand, CBS or whatever, Paramount is buying CNN. So now they're actually like, you have CBS News. You've got CNN.
Is CNN owned by MGM?
No, it was owned by Warner Brothers, I believe.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's going to be owned by Paramount. So now you're taking news sources and now you can pump that as well out there. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the deal to go through in time to actually start pumping this out there. But
these things take these things take forever. But
these things take forever. But
I think this will do tremendous numbers. And when I said it'll be covered, it'll be national news. I just mean like
it'll be world news. It'll be world news. Like you're gonna have like CNN is in other countries. Like it's not just here in the States.
I'm not even just talking CNN. I don't know. I just in general, like it's a newsworthy thing where nothing else the UFC does is newsworthy. It's sporting news, but this is like real news. Like at the White House, this is happening.
No, I would agree, man. I would agree. This is huge.
So anyway, where I was going with that is you're gonna lose $30 million, but you can't buy that kind of press. Even if you wanted to buy it, you can't. But it will come down to the fights being good, because the last thing you would want is to have that, 50 million people, whatever it is, like this giant number, and have that card be an absolute stinker. Then it's like, yeah, this sport sucks.
They're trying to get everyone. They're trying to get everyone to go to DC, and I'm like, you will not catch me. There's no fucking way I'm stepping foot over there. Not a chance.
No. And it'll be one of the most like secure places, obviously. But yeah, I'm not. There's a 0% chance. With the current world climate right now, I'm not. I am not going there. Absolutely not.
There's no chance. No,
I agree. I'll go to Vegas for International Fight Week, and that's another thing I was going to mention. Yes. When this was first announced, they made it sound like this was going to be International Fight Week, but I saw Ariel Helwani say that July 15th or whatever is going to be International Fight Week. And there's more likelihood of Conor fighting on that card than whatever. So the fact that there will still be International Fight Week is pretty interesting, because it's like, that's too huge. And maybe it's because they're scaling back the White House. Like, hey, we can't have a whole week's worth of events, because International Fight Week there's a trade show. There's constant events and like fighter signings and all sorts of stuff. And the logistics of doing all of that in DC is probably a little trickier than they thought.
This is what I think. I think, honestly, they've kind of always known they're doing the White House and International Fight Week. That's why we haven't got great main events or great fight cards coming up.
Because in a 1 month period, there's going to be two huge
events. Cards. Yep. And I think that's really where they're staking their claim on terms of Paramount Plus by people purchasing the app. Like, hey, this is when you want to buy it. Right now, this is what we're going to put 2 shows back to back on Paramount, whatever it is, and it's going to be viewed. And you guys, this is your opportunity to buy the Paramount Plus app. And it's like you're getting your money's worth. If you don't like it, you can cancel it, sure, but at least you're getting 2 shows back to back, and that'll lead us into the rest of the year. So I had said this earlier. I go, look, I was going to cut them some slack for the January, February, March cards, because there's a lot of business deals going on during that time.
I didn't think these cards were bad. And maybe it's because but
name value wasn't great.
Yeah, and maybe I'm more forgiving because I'm not spending $80 freaking dollars.
That's true.
So maybe it's like, yeah, it was a good card. I'm fine with
You're
it.
really, you're willing to slurp it up.
Yeah, I'm very excited. You know what's funny? I've been very excited for 326 because I love the BMF title. That's a great matchup. People saying it's a rematch. It's not a rematch. Charles Oliveira blew his neck out in the first 2 minutes of that fight. There was no fight the first time. So I'm very excited for that. Looking at the rest of the card, that's a great fight. Co-main event, very good. Kind of a not a great card.
I saw that.
Like I was like, oh, this is gonna be like. I love Drew Dober. He was on your show. Drew Dober shouldn't be on the main card against another older guy.
Well,
like,
that's a
featured prelim fight.
But these guys deliver, and that's why the UFC is
100%.
really trying. The UFC is really trying to make sure that they put guys that are there that deliver on fights, whether they're old or not. They want guys that can perform.
Yeah, no, and Drew Dober will always show up for sure.
Yeah, and that's the one. Like Mike, I love Michael Johnson, man. I love Drew Dober. I've had him on the show. He's actually co-hosted with me as well on the show here, so I love having him on. The other fight that's really good on that card is Bruno Ferreira and Gregory Rodriguez. They're making sure that the guys that sling it and throw it are on that main card. They don't give a fuck about the age. They're doing what they can to get people to subscribe to Paramount Plus.
Well, and now the UFC's biggest market, which is America, it's already included. So the difference between a main card and undercard isn't as big of a deal. Obviously, other markets still have to pay for a pay-per-view, but America was by far the biggest market. And before it was, how do I bait people into buying this for $80? Well, now they don't have to. First of all, I'm not a big sweets guy. Okay, I'll admit I'm a big dude. I eat like a motherfucker. But it's not sweets. You give me $8.
There you go, chicken and pizza. Chicken wings and pizza.
Not even that. You give me $8 to spend on food, that's at the bottom of the list. I do love pizza, but not here. This pizza sucks.
No, this guy, you know what this guy loves? This guy loves shrimp and lobster tails. Bro, you've had some good little boiling, whatever it is.
You've been two, right?
Yeah,
one I screwed up, and then one was better.
But you know what? The one you screwed up, I thought
flavor
was better.
Was good.
Yeah, the flavor was good. I like it like that.
6 hours to make.
Yeah, I mean, you rushed it. That's why. Because the thing didn't work, right? It took 6 hours.
Water wasn't boiling. Like, why is this not boiling? And the machine was boiling.
Oh, man. I'm excited for what's to come. I mean, obviously, I did see some reports. Why
do people think I'm Jewish?
It's the nose.
There's no person named Angelo.
Let's just call it like it is. It's the nose.
I mean, Jews and Italians look very similar, but the names are very different.
The nose. It's the nose for sure. What was I gonna say?
I'm just reading like Jews don't love pizza. What are we talking about?
Yeah, he's not Jewish, guys. Calm down. Okay, calm down.
I do love Jewish sandwiches, though.
Wait, what is that?
A pastrami? Corned beef?
That's just a Jewish sandwich?
Oh, those are Jew meats, yeah, for sure. The Jewish deli?
We're just throwing around the word Jews. That's what we're doing.
No, this is what it is.
Okay.
Deli. New York is just there's Italian delis and there's Jewish delis, and even in Frisco here, there's New York Deli News. That's a Jewish deli. Phenomenal.
I love pastrami, man. Pastrami is like my go-to.
Jewish food. Yeah, tongue,
so
beef tongue as well.
Nice.
Oh, they're Jewish sandwiches. Phenomenal.
I did see somebody say that it sounds like it's either going to be John Jones. It might have been Ariel. It's going to be John Jones and Alex, or it's going to be Gon and Alex. But then also for International Fight Week, it'll be probably Connor.
I would love both of those things. Also, since we're on the topic of food, Ends of the Mind says raw fish on a bagel is gross. That's not raw. That's smoked salmon. I agree. That's fucking gross. That's lox.
Yeah, I can't.
That's a Jewish morning bagel. It's disgusting. But
why is it
raw.
so? It's so popular in the UK. Like every breakfast hotel you go to, it's there. It's like the beans, the beans and the mushrooms and the fucking and like the ham or whatever it is. It's so weird. It's like their normal UK or English breakfast is fucking trash.
English food sucks, and if you're English, I'm sorry. I'm not. Your food.
Yeah,
sucks. It is what it is. Yeah. But lox is a Jewish thing. So in the Northeast,
I didn't know that.
So what's crazy about the North 90% of Jewish people outside of Israel live in the Northeast. That's why there's so many Jewish delis and the bagels and all that stuff. So I have had lox. You grow up in the Northeast. It's disgusting.
It's gross.
I don't understand it. I don't know who wants to start their day with fish, let alone cold fish. I don't get it.
And normally they put it on sour cream.
Cream cheese.
Fuck, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, on a bagel. It's like cream cheese on
yeah.
a bagel. End it right there. We don't need to add.
This dude, Joseph Perriman, 65. I love locks. What the
people do? No, people love.
I know
locks. It's disgusting.
Well, look, we did a lot of shows in the UK, and I just can't do their breakfast, man. I was just a coffee kid. I mean, like,
no, it is. Sausages are good. No, that's their whole thing.
It depends. It depends on which hotel. Like sometimes you'll get like a chicken sausage or something. It's not bad, but
yeah,
I don't know. Connor coming back for the International Fight Week? Yes, no.
I hope so.
Would you rather? See him?
I don't think he ever fights again. I've been pretty
okay. Carlos Pratis.
They announced that, didn't they? They announced the Carlos Pratis.
Yeah, bro. Sorry, Pratis is fighting JDM. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carlos
At a fight night in Perth, which I don't know what that means for us. That might be at 2 a.m. or some shit.
Fuck.
Because they said it's actual. This will be the first ever UFC event in Australia on a Saturday night.
Oh,
which
wow.
I don't know what that means for us. I got to look at a.
Fuck, we might as well just do it live.
Time zone calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully it's the middle of the day and not the middle of the night. Like those China cards can kill me. They start at 3 a.m.
You know what's funny is here we are complaining about this, right? People in the
they
UK
deal with
like,
it every week.
Fuck you. I deal with this shit for the last 30 years. Fucking deal with this shit. Fuck you.
Deal with it every single week.
Yeah. Look, I think that pretty much wraps it up. What else we got? What is there anything else? I think that's pretty much wraps it up, right?
We covered a lot of shit.
We did cover a lot of shit. We did. I'm trying to think. Guys, hit me up in the comments real quick. Give me one thing. Give me one thing you want us to talk about real quick. I wanted to chat with you guys. Angelo, what do you got planned today? Kids, sports?
My daughters have volleyball and I have softball.
Oh, you have softball.
I have softball.
Run into if you can actually get on base, probably the furthest you've ran in like.
We'll find out. It's not my team. Like my neighbor put it together, so we'll see. And
are you any good?
I'm
got a lot of weight to swing behind that bat.
No, so. I can. I'm okay. I've got a good arm. I can catch most of it, and I can hit a ball. The problem is I don't have the baseball mechanics. Meaning, let's say I catch a fly ball, you're gonna need to tell me what base to throw this to. Yeah. Like, am I cutting him off? Or am I going to where he is? Like, you got to tell me where to put this. Because I don't have there's a whole rhythm to baseball and softball, and so I don't have that. But I don't know. You can't make
games. You can't make game time decisions like fast.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like if you could go to an MMA gym or whatever and train wrestling forever, and then get into an actual wrestling match, it's a different cadence. And there's different things going on.
Degenerate MMA fan members for 2 months. Hey, man, I appreciate you being a member. Did you notice half of the UFC 326 is 50-50 in the UFC? I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
The
50,
records, 50? I assume.
Oh, that was the thing that I wanted to talk to you about. You and I were texting back and forth yesterday, and this last night's card, you were like, "Oh, a lot of finish text messaging each other." I say texts, like it's in. Yeah, it is weird. It is weird. We were texting back and forth. Yes. And we were talking about how those fights, those cards like last night, they're used to either get rid of a fighter that they're trying to cut because the odds, and they're looking for finishes. They want to see if the person that they want to win can actually get a finish against somebody that they're probably trying to cut. If not, then that gives us a reason to keep you where you're at in terms of pay. Like they will give guys a jump in pay if they end up finding their way into finishes. And that's what they're looking for. If you haven't learned anything over the last, 3 months or 4 months, is that they're looking for guys to finish fights and throw down. If you're not those guys, and to be active, and they've come out publicly, Hunter Campbell's like, if you're not an active guy and you're in the rankings, we're just letting you go. If you're fighting with us every single time, oh no, I don't want that fight. Oh no, I want that. No, we're good. So I think that the UFC, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with
you that? Were saying he said that the UFC 326, a lot of them have 50-50 UFC records. I did just break down that entire card. My full prediction video went live while we were live here. But the reality is it almost doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Like, because the UFC does do a really good job of not caring about somebody's overall record. So you still get some really fun matchups. You get important matchups, and you don't really need these 5-0, 10-0 type guys. But last night was worse. We had Chris Motino 0-3 in the UFC. Jose Daniel Medina going into his fight was 0-4 in the UFC. Mm-hmm. Like there was a lot of the main event had two fighters that have both been knocked out in their last fight. So, I think there's a bunch of cards like that.
Yeah, but look, I think if you take a look at that card, right? Like you've got some name value that are there. You got Cody Durden, Ricky Tercios, you've got Cody Brundage, you've got Cody Garbrandt. No, what I'm saying is that people they know those names because they've been around for a while. Cody Garbrandt. You're not saying there's no name value, but to me,
no, Garbrandt. You said Durden and Ricky Tercios.
Yeah, but Durden, Tercios, didn't Tercios, was he like one of the top guys from the Ultimate Fighter?
He got smoked in the finale and hasn't.
Yeah, he got smoked in the finale. But still, you've got this guy Sumadarje, he's just fun to watch.
I mean, actually, now that you're listing all these names, all of them are 2 and 3 in their last 5. None of these guys have any meaningful wins.
Gaston Bolanos, Young Lee. You've got Bellato. You've got Rafael Tobias. You've got guys that they don't have great records.
It's more than 50-50, dude. Bellato can't get a win.
Brundage is 11-8.
Correct. Brundage. You know what Brundage's record is right now? It's 1-2-1-1.
Wow. And then they match him against Dante Johnson, who's fucking 7 or 8-0.
Yeah, and because Brundage keeps having random issues. He had a no contest. He has a draw. There's just so many random issues in there. It's definitely a weirdo card on paper like that, but a lot of those fights will deliver. Cody Durden's always in a fun fight. Cody Brundage is always in a fun fight.
We'll take a look at this. Dante Johnson 7-0, Cody Brundage 11-8. Okay, Ricky Tercios 12-5, Alberto Montez 11-1. So let you know this is what we're talking about. It lets you know who they're trying to build. The 11-1 guy should be able to beat and potentially finish the Tercios guys like Ricky.
Ricky's getting smoked. Brundage is probably going to lose 2.
Durden is 17-9, and this I can't even say this guy's last name.
Menderall or something like that.
Yeah, he's 9-1. This is showing you guys who they want to. Sumadarje versus Santos Aguilar. Sumadarje is 18-7, and Santos Aguilar is 12-3. They're looking Rafael Tobias and the Nurgazaya or whatever is 10. That's probably an evenly matched fight. One is 14-1, one is 10-2. But it lets you kind of know where they're at on these guys. Like Gaston Bolanos, mainly all stand-up, really no wrestling. I've trained with him for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was like the spinning back. He was a spinning back elbow king for a while there.
Yeah, he was. Yep. And then people figured out you could just duck under it and shoot.
He looks like a Disney prince, and he has a Disney prince name, Gaston Bolanos.
He's a good-looking dude, man.
He has a Disney prince look. It's just literally just the look.
Yeah.
And his name is Gaston. It's this is crazy.
Yeah, he's got a smoke show fiance or girlfriend too. Nice. Smoke show. And it explains that she probably thinks he's probably a Disney prince.
Yeah.
But he's 8-5, and then he's fighting Young Lee, who's 11-3. They know who this is what I'm talking about.
And he can wrestle. Yeah.
And they're looking for guys that they're hey, you got to be able to get this finished. These are the type of fights you're going to get. You're going to get this until they can figure out how to get rid of some of the excess baggage. And if those fighters end up coming back and put on a great performance, then they're happy for them. If they're not, then it lets them know that the person that they were trying to build doesn't have it yet. So look, you got Luke Fernandez 6-0 against Bellato 12-3. Luke Fernandez, I don't know how old he is. I haven't looked at it yet, but 6-0. The guy with the O, they want to win. They want to keep guys undefeated.
They're using
as long
Bellato
as they can.
here. Bellato's a fucking absolute ass clown. So
Jesus, wow, you're
you
really
don't remember he put on that fake performance? He was fake knocked out against was it Kutalaba maybe, or I forget. He's a joke.
Interesting. All right, guys. Hey, that's gonna wrap us up. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this show. Loner versus Manel Kopp. We talked about that earlier. We didn't talk about Manel Kopp, but I don't want that fight for him. Let him mature. He's young, 23 years old or something like that. He's a baby. Got a good look to him. Very marketable. Let the UFC build on that platform. Give him some favorable matchups. Let him simmer, man. Let him cook. Let's go ahead and just let him build up his name and his reputation. So we did talk about the Arman. I saw a lot of people asking that. We did talk about that. That was in the very beginning of the show. That was hot news. Obviously, I'm an Arman fan, being a lightweight, former lightweight myself. I'm not a lightweight anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Not quite fucking super heavyweight like Angelo, but I'm not a lightweight anymore. Yeah, you might be super, super heavy.
I can make the heavyweight limit easily within a day.
Yeah, because all you got to do is sit in the sauna for 2 minutes. The grease comes out of you.
Right.
Once you get the grease out of you,
pee will get me under that line.
Once you get the grease out of you, you could be probably a light heavyweight. Yeah,
we'll see. I'm going to run later today. We'll see how that goes.
I don't. You use that word run very
I'm
lightly.
gonna trot.
You just throw it out there like it's like no big deal. Like I'm gonna run. Yeah, like you run to the fridge.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I want to thank you guys so much, man. And we will see you guys next time we're out.